Hello, my name is Mona. I am a female monarch butterfly, and I am so excited to chat with you today. Butterflies and moths belong to the insect order Lepidoptera. That name comes from the Greek words for scale and wing. I bet you didn't know that our wings are covered in tiny individual scales, and that these scales can break off to help us escape from sticky spider webs. Butterflies and moths go through 4 stages of life: egg, larva or caterpillar, pupa, and adult. This is called a complete metamorphosis, but we do not all go about things the same way. I started life as a teeny tiny egg on the underside of a milkweed leaf. Monarch butterflies can lay hundreds of eggs, but they usually place only 1 egg on each milkweed plant. We sure need a lot of plants to lay our eggs on. Did you know that we smell with our antenna and taste mostly with our feet? Yep, when my mom's antenna picked up the scent of milkweed, she followed it. Then she landed on a leaf and tasted it with her feet. That is how she knew that she could place an egg on the underside of that leaf. Milkweed plants are the host plants for monarch caterpillars. Host plants are the only food sources for insects in their larval and or adult stages. In Ontario, there are 12 native species of Asclepias, but you might prefer to call them milkweeds. They have amazing specialist relationships with at least 13 other insects and are a source of nectar and or pollen for many bees, moths, butterflies, and even hummingbirds. Spiders like making a home in milkweed patches too. Different butterflies lay their eggs on different parts of different host plants. The morning cloak butterfly lays her eggs in clusters on or around the twigs of her larval host plants, which include willows. She does this before they leaf out. The rosy maple moth's host plants are hardwood trees such as maples and some oaks. She lays her egg clusters on the underside of the foliage. I love how many ways there are to lay eggs. Each stage of caterpillar growth is called an instar. So after hatching, I was on my first instar. I ate the leaf that I was laid on and ate more milkweed leaves until I was too big to fit inside my skin. Then I molted, which means I shed my skin. I went through this process 4 more times, each time having brighter colors and changes to my anatomy. During my 5th and final instar, I left the milkweed patch in search of a place to begin the next stage of my metamorphosis. We usually climb as high as we can go on whatever plant we choose. Sometimes a stair railing is a good spot. I attach myself upside down to the underside of my chosen leaf. When I was ready to pupate, I shed my skin one last time and covered myself in a chrysalis, a beautiful green casing with tiny gold dots. Amazing, right? When moth caterpillars pupate, their casing is called a cocoon. Some moth caterpillars pupate by spinning a strong, sticky cocoon. Then once they are secure inside, they will pupate. The rosy maple moths overwinter in this stage and emerge from their cozy cocoons in the spring. Woolly bear caterpillars are amazing too. They have the ability to create antifreeze. This allows them to overwinter as caterpillars. In the spring, they complete their metamorphosis and become Isabella tiger moths. It is often hard to see monarch chrysalises in the plant foliage. This is great because we are very vulnerable at this stage and cannot flee from danger. Under ideal conditions, monarchs will pupate between 8 and 18 days. When we finally break out, which is called eclosing, it takes some time to pump up our wings. Then we hang around to dry off and warm up in the sunshine. Monarch butterflies need a temperature of at least 15 degrees Celsius to be able to fly. If the weather is windy or a little on the colder side, you may not see us. As a caterpillar, I could only eat leaves. As a butterfly, I have no jaw to eat leaves anymore, but I can drink water and nectar. I use my long mouth part, called the proboscis, like a straw. I drink nectar from many plants, not only milkweed. Morning cloak butterflies live about 8 months or so, which is longer than most lepidopterans. Isn't that incredible? This is because they do things a little differently. They do not migrate to warmer places like we do. Instead, they overwinter as adults under the fallen leaves, beneath bark, and in tree hollows. You can often see beautiful morning cloaks in early spring when the snow is still melting. They survive on tree sap, rotten fruit, mud, and occasionally nectar. Sadly, in Canada, monarch butterflies have been listed as an endangered species. To help us, please plant native milkweed species for our caterpillars. It is also important to provide adult nectar sources. Native species of goldenrods, coneflowers, asters, and rudbeckias are all excellent choices. Never, ever use herbicides or pesticides, and don't rake up all of the fallen leaves. We really appreciate it. If you would like to support all sorts of moths and butterflies, please plant keystone species. Native plants provide the best sources of nutrition. To ensure that we will have food as we travel along our great migration route, it is important to create corridors of plant communities that provide continuous blooms. Thank you for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. I hope to see you again. Bye for now.